Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We are December 22nd, 2017. For MiningClips.com, I'm Rob Goodman, and as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, will make sense of these numbers. All right, Mickey, ink barely dry on the tax bill here. Let's break the markets down where the metals had a fantastic week across the board.
Commodities were up all week, although the real surge was this morning on New York Open. Gold was up almost $10, closed at $12.74, up 1.4%. Silver had a nice week, up almost 2%, gained 30 cents to $16.35. Platinum recovered after being horribly oversold for the last couple of months. It was up almost 3% to $9.18. And palladium, which I now classify as an industrial metal, not a precious metal, was up once again, closed at $10.30, up 1.5%. The real winner for the week in the metals game was copper. We should also mention that zinc was up nicely this week, too. Copper closed up 3.5% to $3.21. We haven't seen these numbers. We saw them a couple of months ago, but this is back to a high since around August of 2014. Copper looks very strong with strong fundamentals, very strong contango going out all the way out six months or so. It's up 11 days in a row, and it looks very bullish coming into the new year.
Shifting gears into energy, mixed bag here. Oil, a pretty decent week.
Oil was stronger most of the week, although it was flat today. Closed at 58.32, up 1.7% over the week. Uranium trickled down, continues to trickle down. It closed at $24. Let's go back to oil. U.S. production was up. It's now at 9.8 million barrels per day over the last week. We are quickly approaching the all-time high. Back when monthly production figures were all that we had, averaged 10 million barrels a day in November of 1970. So what is that? 47 years ago. And we've got inventories down. Anwar drilling was okay, snuck that into the tax bill, but I have to say that's years away before even the first leases would be offered. And finally, a little tidbit here. In 2016 and 2017, world oil discoveries were the lowest since the 1940s. Get this, Rob. Last year, or this year, 2017, we discovered 11% of the oil that we use. So with demand remaining very strong worldwide, the piper will be paid at some point down the line.
Heading over to the currency market, the dollar's winning streak broke, and modest gains for the euro and loonie.
Yeah, the dollar was weak all week, closed at 93.32, down 0.6 of a point over the week. That's a pretty big move. Euro, of course, was up on that dollar weakness, closed at 119, up almost 1%. Big winner for the week was the loonie, surged almost a point, closed at 786 for a 1.2% gain.
And finishing up with these red hot markets here, the beat goes on. Will the Dow hit 25,000 by year end?
Well, that's probably the $64,000 question, which as of today would buy you about 5 Bitcoins. Yesterday, it would have bought you only 4 Bitcoins. So that tells you the volatility in that bubble. U.S. markets hit their highs on Monday and fell off or were flat over the rest of the week. I think a lot of it, they baked in that this tax bill was going to be done. And but certainly a tax bill looks good for corporate America. One thing we should note is that Dow transports continue to soar, so that's very bullish on the market. 10-year bond hit its high yield since March. And that probably has to do with the tax or with the rate increase last week. Let's break it down here. Dow closed at 24,754, up 0.4%. S&P 500, 2683, up 0.3%. NASDAQ 6960, also up 0.3% on the week.
And last but not least, venture had a pretty decent week here.
Venture Exchange had a nice week, up 1.1%, 9 points, closed at 810. Very strong volumes, some tax loss selling, but you saw some buying come in this week, I think. One of the things that's modified the usual tax loss selling pattern, I think, is both Canadians and U.S. markets went from 3-day to 2-day settlements over the last couple of months. And what that's done is that's meant that Canadians have one more day of trading, which would be next Wednesday for them. Now, Americans can trade through Friday, but that normally in a normal year under the previous paradigm, they would have been finished today. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens the last 3 days of next week.
I agree. We'll look forward to that. So, all right, Mickey. Well, the Donald made it popular again to say Merry Christmas. So I'll say Merry Christmas to you, and look forward to some more insight next week.
All right. Happy holiday to you and yours, Rob.